Boys and girls, we have lots to finish up today. First is your hieroglyphics on your papyrus. If you haven't finished your cartouche yet, then you're going to go ahead and do that today using your marker first. You're always going to be working on top of that brown placemat. We don't want to get any marker on your desks. I will also be giving you some gold markers today. Again, only if you use them correctly, having them on the brown paper, not putting them on your finger or anything else like that. That would be horrible. Then we have our Pharaoh project from last week. Many of you need to open up that idea sheet and look back in there to try and find ideas for how to add details. A lot of you got as far as putting your pharaoh and your crown, and it's looking really cool, but you need to be adding some really convincing, realistic details. And this idea sheet is what you need, my friends. Especially in the background, you'll notice that when they did a face, they didn't just leave it blank. They put so much stuff in the back. Here, they've got a picture there of the jackal, but look at all the stuff in the background. A lot of times it would be like these stripes with hieroglyphics in it that they would put in the background. So when you come to me and say, I'm done, I'm going to be like, nah, you're not. Because you can be adding lots of borders that are interesting on there. And don't just make them up. Make sure that you look on the idea sheet to see some of the borders that they would have used back then. They might have used hieroglyphic borders. You could have a secret message in there. You could also use some of the designs that we see on that very back sheet of some of those lotus blossoms and things like that. So here you can see I'm kind of messing around with ideas of how you could add your pectoral collar. Your border doesn't have to be straight. You could have it be kind of triangular or rounded. You may even decide you don't want a border at all and you're just going to fill it up with a whole bunch of different designs. I don't care really, as long as they are Egyptian and it looks like you took time doing it and it makes sense. I do not want scribble scrabble in the background. Now, this person did a great job of doing their pharaoh and a border. I want to show you some different things you could do in your background. One thing is to put stripes in the background and then to fill in each stripe with a different design. So like here, I added scarab beetles. In the next row, I did all the ujat. You might decide you want to do cartouches in the background and do everyone in your family's cartouche and fill it in with hieroglyphics. That is totally fine. You might say, oh no, I'd like to have a pyramid in the background with a big sun and some palm trees and make it look like it's actually in Egypt. You can do that too, as long as you're doing a nice job and it looks Egyptian. Here on one of your border sheets, there are some Egyptian pillars that they used in some of their buildings, and they would put different designs on it. So I was starting with one on this side, and I would have done one on the other. Another thing that we see a lot of times is a sun, and they have these really long rays coming out. You could also do the solar disk on the top with the wings like this person did. But even here, there's some more things that could be done.